By now, we are all aware of the Hyundai Getz. The Hyundai Getz was a famous B-segment hatchback done by Hyundai in the 2000s. It achieved massive popularity mainly because of its cheap price tag. However, its quality was questionable. Its design was very questionable. The identity was also questionable. There are many questionable aspects about it, except for the fact that it was cheap to afford, cheap to tax, and that's it. It was just a simple A to B machine. And the same case goes with its successor, the first ever Hyundai i20. The first ever Hyundai i20 rolled out in 2008. However, the first generation and the second generation were very questionable in terms of identity. They had an average taste, everyone. They were so average, they were not groundbreaking, they were purely just A to B machines. But in the mid-2010s was where everything about Hyundai has changed. Their cars, their design, and also the way they've been performing lately. It's been fabulous, guys. Lately, Hyundai has done something that revolutionized the way people see their cars. They've really started doing interesting cars that really left an impression in the automotive industry. And there are many great cars they've come up with, like the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe, the all-new Hyundai Tucson. And just recently, Hyundai has released the new Hyundai i20. Now, this Hyundai i20 is based on the same platform as the Hyundai Bayon. Now, it's very good, guys. See? Now, this is supposed to be purely for city cruising, just like every other B-segment car. And the Hyundai Bayon was more family-oriented, if you think about it. This Hyundai i20 costs 18,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? We are going to determine this in a moment, everyone. However, I can already say one thing, and that is, judging by Hyundai's reputation for being good value for money, I have quite a good feeling this car should be no exception. But let's get on with this review right now. This Hyundai i20 comes with a 1-liter petrol engine which produces 73 kilowatts. Ooh, very cheap to tax, very cheap to insure. Youngsters, this looks like this would be your first car. Just one little thing I thought I'd remark about the engine of this Hyundai i20 is the bonnet. And the thing about the bonnet is that this strut is lined directly onto the bonnet. It's not, it doesn't lie down here like in most cars. So when I first opened the bonnet, it took me 1 minute to realize that the strut was actually right onto the bonnet. And guys, not to worry, the bonnet of this Hyundai i20 is very light. I mean, look, I can even pull it up with my finger. Check this out, with just one finger, although I do not recommend you doing this for a long time. Here, you can even do it with one hand, but it's so light that you can even, if you don't have time to go to the gym, forget it. Just do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Best gym workout ever. Oh. Let's start by talking about the exterior design of this Hyundai i20. First of all, I'll start with the color. I think the color of this Hyundai i20 looks very good. It's very fabulous, and it pairs very well with the theme of this Hyundai i20. And the theme being, I mean, when I see those sharp edges plus the red color, the first thing that pops in my mind is action. So over here is the front of the Hyundai i20, and I really love the design here. I like how the light is directly connected with the grille, and then you have this grille which is all in black, and then you have the lighting again here. So it gives it the impression that there's a face mask theme going on. Lighting system looks very good, although it does look a bit basic, but this is expected for a B-segment car of with a price of 19,000 euros. And yes, it's normal, it's expected. And over here you have the side indicator lights, very nice. And underneath over there, I think those are supposed to be your daytime running lights or fog lamps. I'm not entirely certain, guys. There is actual air intake. This is the first time I've ever seen this. I mean, genuinely, especially for a B-segment car. I would never have expected this. Normally, this kind of air vent I would have expected on a car of 50,000 euros, because at those points you're looking at something sporty. But on a Hyundai i20, this is absolutely stunning. I love this, guys. I also like this aggressive lining right here. I mean, look at it. It has this sort of angry face theme to it, and I love this. It pairs very well. So, you know, you have these lines that go diagonally, and over here as well. It's over here, this part of the bonnet is a bit elevated compared to the other side. For some reason, there's this hexagonal theme going on right here. I don't know why it's there, but in terms of aesthetics, it looks quite appealing, actually. It reminds me of honeycombs. This is the side design of the Hyundai i20, and as we can see, it has adopted the exact similar theme as the Hyundai Tucson and the Hyundai Bayon. Same theme it has adopted like them would be the lining over here. I mean, look at it. It's a straight line that goes and blends eventually with the rear and with the front, and there's another second one that just goes underneath it and then rejoins it at the front. And then there's also another for the rest of the body, it's all round edge sort of, and there's another line that appears right here. It blends with the door, but then it appears and it goes to the rear lights and it goes around the rear door. Very, very interesting. I really like how Hyundai is starting to play with sharp edges and a sort of wavy design. It's very interesting and it makes it look very unique, and I'm very happy to say this is creating its own identity. This is something people can identify Hyundai with. You know, from a distance everyone can tell, yes, this looks like something Hyundai would do. This is the side view mirror of the Hyundai i20, and I love how they put the side indicator onto it. It's kind of blended with the design. It's like a two-tone theme to it almost. You got the body paint right here and the gray plastic underneath. First of all, I want to point out how pleasant the door handle feels. I like how on top of the door handle you get this sharp edge design, and the feel of it is very good. This is the rear of the Hyundai i20, and over here I feel like it has a two-tone color theme to it. Like over here you have the body color, but then over the rear lights you get this black theme over here. I love the design over here, and obviously a bit of i20 patriotism going on. You see it's written i20 right there. Interesting. And also I like how the lighting is shaped. Whenever I see the rear of this Hyundai i20, I was thinking a lot. There is a car I can relate this car with. There's something this rear reminds me of, and I'm not sure what model it reminds me of, but it kind of reminds me of the Hyundai Atos, I think. I think it's the Atos. It has to be, because whenever I look carefully at the rear of this design, there's something about it that really does remind me of the Atos. Like, get rid of this middle light over here, like get rid of this red line, and then it'll give me a clear vision of the Hyundai Atos for some reason. I don't know why, but it has something to do with the shape, the position of the lightings, and also the way things are positioned. Over here you get this black plastic, and I've seen this sort of design on it, a similar theme on the Hyundai Tucson, I think, and it's very interesting how Hyundai is trying to put this on all of their cars, even on the Hyundai Kona, and yes, it's very good. Believe it or not, this is your fuel cap for the Hyundai i20, and I absolutely love how they blended it with the design. They made it non-conspicuous. Most brands would always have a prominent circle right here, which indicates that it's a fuel cap, but this Hyundai i20 has done something completely different, and I personally think this is the first time I've ever seen this on a B-segment car. Those are steel wheels with a hubcap on top, but I don't know about you all, I think those hubcaps look amazing on this Hyundai i20. I really like how those hubcaps have a sort of 5-branch style to them. It's very nice, and the steel wheel is quite good also. Whilst exploring the exterior of this Hyundai i20, I did notice some minor flaws though. And the first minor flaw I'm going to point out is that this grille is very nice, don't get me wrong, okay? I really like how most of it is an air intake. However, the corner of the grille has no purpose whatsoever. Over here, you get this vertical line that splits the air intake and the plastic. And over here, you just get this part of the grille that has no purpose. What really does ever so slightly bother me is that this, the button for the rear door is very conspicuous. You have this little ditch right here. It would be better if the rear button was maybe integrated somewhere here, or maybe here. But Hyundai put it all the way down there. Now let's move to the interior of this Hyundai i20. This is the interior of the Hyundai i20, guys. And oh my god! It's so good! It's so good, guys. Oh wow. The interior of the Hyundai i20 is adorable. I mean, look at it, guys. It looks so interesting, and it looks actually quite busy. I like it. I really do. I mean, busy in the sense, I like how there's more styling going on, especially for a B-segment car of 19,000 euros. I cannot ask for anything more than that, guys. It's good. Now, in terms of identity, you are not expecting identity in this interior because this is not something Hyundai has been doing for quite long. It's something they just started recently, but in a good way, guys. This is something new, revolutionary, and it's quite funky if you think about it. Now, maybe on upper specs you can change something, like maybe add a trim, or perhaps you could add nice fancy seats with fancy trim on, and I think that would be the best thing to do because, you know, you want to liven up the interior. Otherwise, this interior is lively enough in my opinion. So this is the interior of the Hyundai i20, everyone. First of all, I really love how the air vent and the design over here look like they're blended. I mean, this is so cool, guys. Look at it. They blended the design, and they've developed an obsession with straight lines over here. Like, look at this, guys. You get a straight line here, and on the passenger side near the door handle, over there, and also in my at my side right here and right here as well, and even onto the speakers. Like, look at it, guys. Over here you have all the climate controls, like literally everything you need for climate is right here. And over here you get the center door lock, and over here is your infotainment system. And I actually am impressed with how they've kind of blended the design with the instrument cluster. Oh, and by the way, this instrument cluster is digital. Now that is very cool. Over here you have the cruise control, and over here you get the media control. You get two cup holder of fixed sizes. One is bigger than the other, and you, instead of a center console storage, you get this little storage space right here. Actually, this storage space is quite big compared to what I've seen in other B-segment cars. So it's interesting. The absence of a center console storage is very normal for a B-segment car. It's something I'm not even going to question. However, it's very good how Hyundai has still managed to have a sort of storage space right here. And it looks rather deep in my opinion, and a bit spacious. Pretty decent. And you guys get extra storage space right here for your telephone. You get USB connections, and you also get a 12-volt socket, guys. And I like how it's neatly under this little cover right here. Okay, guys, believe it or not, for a price of 19,000 euros, for a B-segment car, you actually get driving mode. Now, this is something I would expect on a B-segment car, which would be around 25,000 euros or even 30,000 euros. But wow, I mean, this is so cool, guys. Imagine that. I mean, 19,000 euros and you get driving mode. Very decent, guys. You feel like you really need some extra storage? Look into this glove box, guys. You get extra storage, however, it's not very deep. It's spacious, but it's just not very deep. That's all I can say, guys. But you can fit as much things that need to be fitted in there for an average B-segment car. Although I've seen some B-segment cars with very deep storage spaces. But it's okay, not a big deal. I like the quality of this manual gear stick. It's rather nice, very good. You get this little door pocket that doubles as a door handle. Over here you get all the window controls, very good. And also you get mirror controls right here. Very, very, very good, guys. I'm very impressed. Favorite part of the interior is right here, guys. I mean, you get the lighting right here. Very nice. And of course, if you really want to see how pretty you look, you get a nice mirror over here. Latch to pull the hood open is right here, guys. Now this is very good. It's I really like it when they have this sort of latch, because most brands tend to put their hood latch right there next to the feet, whereas Hyundai has kept it right there. Door pocket that is as practical as it has to be. However, I don't feel like a big water bottle will fit in there, because this part is a bit it's not long enough for a big water bottle, but otherwise I see a small water bottle fitting in there, and also you can fit other things in there. Whilst exploring the interior of this Hyundai i20, I really was impressed, okay? Trust me, I really liked it, but I did also notice some questionable aspects. The first questionable aspect I'm going to point out is Hyundai's obsession of putting a conspicuous fuse box right there. Like, why does Hyundai do this? I really wonder. Like, it would have been more interesting if they had extra storage right there, maybe, or something. Another questionable aspect I've noticed is that there is almost a lot of hard plastic all over the interior. It's very hard for me to spot any squidgy plastic. However, on the other hand, for a B-segment car of 19,000 euros, it's... yeah, I mean, it's only questionable, guys. I'm not going to say this is a bad thing. I'm not going to say this is a good thing either. Because, I mean, it's probably on the upper spec you would get some more goodies. Like probably squidgy plastic and maybe some leather. But whichever it is, guys, I mean, at least Hyundai has had the decency of making the plastic quite attractive. I like how it's styled. Very good, actually. Those knobs to control the air conditioning look a bit old-fashioned, in my opinion. It would have been better. It would have been better if those were buttons or something. But again, selective taste. Some people like it, some people don't. Me, I think it's so and so. I think it's good when it's old-fashioned, but because there's so little to go wrong. It's easy for you to control manually. But then on the other hand, yeah. Another questionable aspect I would like to point out is that this door handle is hard plastic, and it's a bit rare because usually most cars would have a chrome door handle, but in the case of this Hyundai i20, it's just hard plastic right here. Again, selective taste, everyone. Now let's move to the rear seat of this Hyundai i20. First thing I'd like to point out, guys, is that getting inside the interior of this Hyundai i20 at the rear seat was, I think, the most easiest I've ever had, guys. I've been in many B-segment cars, and in many B-segment cars, I've always had difficulty getting in the interior because of a narrow space right here. And in the case of this Hyundai i20, this has to be the first time getting inside a B-segment car has been so easy. So guys, I would like to point out I have enough leg room. My leg room is a bit average for a B-segment car, so I'm not even going to complain. My knee room is amazing. I have a lot of knee rooms. And guys, my headroom is also surprisingly good. Like, check this out. Quite a distance right there. The comfort level of the seat is good. I cannot say it's the best, but it's quite average for a B-segment car. I feel cozy. I don't feel like it's very firm, like sitting on a bench. It's on the cozy side. Let's put it that way. No air conditioning, no air vents, no 12-volt socket, no USB connection. Average. I think this is normal for a B-segment car. Okay, I think this is normal, or maybe this is on the upper spec. And also another thing I'd like to point out is it's very interesting how on the driver's side, the rear seat passenger doesn't get any rear seat pocket, but on the passenger side, the passenger gets a rear seat pocket. Well, that's a bit unfair. The rear passenger gets a lighting over here, guys, a nice beacon of hope, and you get a nice handle over here, and you get a nice coat hook. The door bin is quite average for a B-segment car. However, compared to most B-segment cars, I think this door bin is a bit better because you can fit a water bottle in there. However, you can fit some more things too. Like, it looks like it has extra space. Very nice. And you get this nice little pocket that doubles as a door handle. You see this nice looking hole right here? Actually, this is for your seat belt. So when you fold these seats down, you put your seat belt in there. And that way, when you fold the seat down, it doesn't get caught under the seating. Now let's explore the rear of this Hyundai i20. So this is the rear space of the Hyundai i20, and you get a nice beacon of hope light already. That's something amazing. Very good. Although I don't see any tether point anywhere. No, I don't see any tether point anywhere. No 12-volt socket. Now, the lack of tether points and the 12-volt socket is quite average for a B-segment car, so I'm not even going to question that much because, yeah, I mean, yeah, is it something really you would use on a B-segment car? So here's my conclusion about the Hyundai i20. This Hyundai i20 has marked the birth of something completely different for the B segment cars of Hyundai. This is something completely different, something new, and probably has marked the birth of something completely different for the entire B segment in the automotive market. And the reason I say this is because this Hyundai i20 will probably encourage many car manufacturers to come up with cars that are good value for money. Is this Hyundai i20 good value for money or not? You know what? I have to say, this has to be one of the rare occasions when for a Hyundai, usually for Hyundais, I mostly say they are good value for money. And this was the case with many Hyundai vehicles I've seen. But for the Hyundai i20, this Hyundai i20 is good value for money, but it's not the best. It's just good, okay? It's in the positive zone, but it's not the best. And here's the reason why I think it's not the best. Because for 19,000 euros, you do get quite enough equipment already. Like, I love the way you get a driving mode and a digital instrument cluster. Oh my goodness, this is so rare for a 19,000 euro B segment car. It's extraordinary how Hyundai has made it available. Very good. But the reason why I think it's not the best value for money is because in the interior, it was just endless hard plastic everywhere. And also, the knobs to control the air conditioning seemed a bit old-fashioned in my opinion. Yeah, again, selective taste. Some people might not mind, but me? It would have been better if those were buttons. Part which I found a bit exceptional was the entrance towards the rear seat, guys. This has to be the first time getting in the rear seat was so easy. I've never felt this before on any other B segment car, guys. You want my opinion of this Hyundai i20? Guys, I love the Hyundai i20, guys. This Hyundai i20 is very special in its own ways, and also, I really love the design. It's a very promising start for Hyundai. They finally made a B segment car that is so attractive and probably fun to drive. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run.